Welcome to Transformations with Tara. This is Tara Sutphen, and my guest and co-host is Jason D McKean. He is the voice of over 1 million home recordings throughout the world, and he is a hypnotherapist, and he's a reverend, and he's the Om Tarot wizard. He teaches tarot classes all over the world, and especially in Japan. They love him in Japan, and he does a lot of them here in LA too. But yeah, it's really wonderful, Jason. So welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you, Tara. Um, and thanks for like all of those like kind of bio points, right? Hypnotherapist, reverend, but you yourself are a a top metaphysician in the world. What do they call you? What's the American help me out?
The American Mystic.
The American Mystic. That's right. And a hypnotherapist as well. And like an amazing astrologer, like you name it, all the psychic sciences. It's like you know a lot about and teach and
my thing. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm an Eastern Western astrologer. Yeah, so I do a lot of combo astrology.
Yeah. I wonder if there's like an Eastern and Western tarot, you know. Does
Could be.
that sound like a thing?
Well, I mean,
I
there
don't know.
is a lot of different tarot decks. You could,
It's
I mean,
true.
I guess maybe you're making up one. You said it. Now you have to make it.
Oh my God. Now I just like, gave myself a new project, all right, to dive into. It's like, oh my God, what have
Well,
I
I
done to
mean, there
myself?
are some decks that do have a lot of different modalities on them. Like I certainly, my thing is the Italian decks, and I love um, the medieval scapinis, and I also love the Marchettis, all of those tarot cards. And those are the ones that I tend to read from, and so the thing is with them is that the Scapinis, they have a lot of why I like to start with those, like with some of my psychic classes and stuff, is that I like to the symbolization on them is really incredible, because I feel that to you don't necessarily need to know the tarot, but you need to maybe create a story. And so I use them to create stories with, and so that's a lot of times how I start things. But
Yeah.
yeah, so it's really fun, and so there's a lot of storytelling that you can create with like the Scapini deck, but they have like there's Persian tears in the moon, the moon card. And there's all sorts of different symbology all throughout the deck that is pagan and shamanic, and there's a lot of stuff. And I know that a lot of times they put Chinese symbols, rune symbols, Hebrew symbols. They do a lot. Arabic symbols, all sorts of different things, all throughout these decks. And a lot of the cards are like astrologically inclined. They do a
Yeah.
lot of stuff that you can like start reading superly in depth with them. So what Jason is really good at creating those in-depth questions with tarot. He's just fantastic at it. And I even love to take Jason's classes because they're just fun. I just love your classes, Jason.
Yeah. What's fun is like, even if someone like doesn't have a question, which can happen, right? It's like a student will like be
You
like
chose.
put on the spot, and it's just like, I don't have a question to ask. It's like, okay, we're just going to start reading for you then, we're and what comes up, and I find that usually what comes up for someone is valid, It's like one of those areas that we may not like be kind of consciously fixated on it, but we will it'll be there. It'll be in the mix there. And it's like, it's like the tarot has a way of picking up on what needs to come out, what needs to be talked about.
Mhm.
And so if you're shy, then watch out because your deepest darkest secrets, no, your it's what's important, what's important. But yeah, it's like I think tarot has a way of getting someone past their shyness, actually.
Well, and being able to speak and being able, yeah, and to really talk to somebody. It becomes
Yeah,
really in depth. It does. Yeah, I love that.
it's
I
very very
want
important.
to thank everyone because, with our different crowds and our different platforms, we are of the top 10% in the world of you guys listening to our podcast. We are in the top 10% of 3.5 million podcasts.
Wow.
And thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you, everyone.
So anyway, and it's fun. Jason and I have a lot of fun. It started out being my show for like, I don't know, 13 years or something. Then I brought in Jason because Jason's always so much fun and loves to talk,
That's so true.
knowledgeable, and he's
So much fun.
the wise one. He's the one.
Do you say I'm the white one?
Yeah, the white one, the wise one
Oh,
is definitely white.
I was you're making fun of
Oh,
my
tell
beard.
him how long your beard is, though, because it always cuts off. We think you have short beard.
Right? Like it's just like a goatee or something,
Yeah,
on
almost.
camera. But no, it's just kind of tied up, and it's like, see, I have to like even stand up to like,
Yeah. See?
it's like wizard length.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, we were going to talk to you about Beltaine, talk about wizards and everything. Yeah, we're going to talk about Beltaine, and Jason, tell us what Beltaine means.
Well, Beltane is like literally means the fire of bell or bells, which is the Celtic fire god or sun god.
Yeah, sun god. Mhm.
Yeah, bells. And so, it's like as a one of the points on the solar calendar there, because it's in between what Ostara and the summer solstice. What is that one? What is that one named?
The summer solstice and the
Yeah, but it has a name to it, right? It's not like that weird sounding one in like
midsummer,
August.
midsummer's night. Yeah, it's midsummer.
I like to call the one in August like Lufthansa or something like that.
Oh,
But it's
no,
like
yeah, like
it looks like lasagna,
yeah, like
something.
that. But that's the day of the harvest. And see, and that's what we
Yeah,
mean, Samhain and the summer solstice. So
yeah, right. Which is named what? The summer solstice?
is summer solstice is, well, they call it the Midsummer's Eve. They don't really have a super name for it. It's a summer solstice, it's summer.
Well, like Yule is the winter
Yeah,
solstice, right?
right.
There is a name for it.
Yeah.
It's just in my mind, it's
In my
escaping
mind
me
too, it's
at the
not
moment.
computing really at the moment, but yeah, maybe, summer solstice. I guess I'm not, I absolutely love the pagan Sabbats, but I would say that, I just like to celebrate them because they're the moon phases and the sun phases.
Well, you know why we're spacing on it
Mhm.
is because like, Beltane, that's like a fun one because it's kind of cool. It's May. It's like, you think of the maypole, people dancing around in with the ribbons and all, but like, in June when the solstice hits, it's hot. And it's just like, I'm not gonna go outside and like dance around.
Right,
It's like I'm gonna stay in the AC. I'm
right.
just gonna okay, it's the longest day of the year, light wise, and it's just like it's good. It's good enough for me. I
Yeah.
don't know if there's a festivity around it.
Around which one? The
around the solstice. I mean, yeah, I mean,
summer solstice?
yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it's a big festival, summer solstice. Huge. Huge. I have a huge, it's feasting.
I'm just thinking in SoCal, it's so
Light.
hot, you know, usually
Light.
in June.
Yeah, it's just so beautiful and wonderful.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. No, you can read the article, Jason, in a month and a half.
Your article, right?
Yeah,
So I did see that you posted one for
yeah,
Beltaine.
yes. I put out articles for, yeah, all the Sabbats, but I celebrate all the phases of the moon and the sun. Yeah.
Yeah. With Beltane, it is a time of fertility. It's like, you know, it's like the planting is in process for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
Um, and the the idea, whether it's you know, like romance or, you know, like planting
Romantic.
your offspring into others, you know, is the polite way of
Yeah.
putting it.
It is.
But there's like creative fertility too that one can
Well,
like
I think
take on.
it was kind of the olden days, when you hadn't met people all winter, and so you're supposed to meet people and actually pick someone. And so these like festive ceremonies
Hmm.
are like for people to get to know people or to choose people. And they did have years, just like they have different years of things being popular. They had years where Beltane came, and I know in like some of the countries that celebrated May 1st, they would uh, choose a mate. And if they didn't like them, if they'd marry them or take them home, kind of, they were kind of
If they didn't like him, they'd marry him.
no, no. There were people they came together with, or maybe they were born, they wanted to marry. If
Yeah.
you didn't really like that person within the next year, you both could choose someone else.
So there was a like a year
A year,
process of like just figuring out if this was
right?
like a good
And whether you
match.
stayed at home or moved in with that person, I don't know. I wasn't there, but I mean,
Oh, I was there. I was there.
on Maple. Yeah. So I don't know, but generally, you were supposed to pick a mate because it's to replenish the earth and to find romance. So it's the time of seeking someone and being on. So
Hmm. Hmm.
y'all be on right now looking for somebody if you're not married. If you're not romantic right now, you should be.
And then give yourself a year. It's like,
Right,
does this
right.
work? You know, is it?
Yeah, right, right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, I don't know. In these days, I don't know if you have to give yourself a year, but definitely, you should give it the old try. Even if you're married and you let things wane, start being romantic again and go on dates and figure it out because a lot of times you don't want to throw good things away. And even when you think that things aren't good anymore, you don't want to throw them
That's right.
away. Yeah. Love is love, and you got to stay in that zone. So that's what Beltane teaches you. And it's all about, the flowers and it's celebration.
Yeah, and because it like has that spring essence to it. It has that beginning part of the cycle. You know, it's definitely one of where, you know, because in the winter it's still you're kind of planning it, you're still kind of building up steam to
Oh,
activate it, but it's like, you know, get on the stick already. You know, this is like a time to like just you know make put it into action and to start the process going
well, you
because
keep longing for it too, I mean, because a lot of people, what do you want? And if you stay home, and just do things at home. You don't necessarily meet people if you're not out and about a little bit. And I'm definitely not one to talk about wanting to be out and about a lot because, I think that people see me out and about. I'm always kind of out and about. I'm out and about now. And the line is that, when I'm home, I love to be home. Love it. But you have to do what you do in life. And the thing is if you want a mate, you have to search for that mate. And if you want a great job, you have to study and create that wonderful career. And those jobs, if you don't want the job that you have now, you have to look for the better job, those sort of things. It just takes effort. We keep creating that effort because it never really stops. So you may as well just get in your mind that you're going to create great effort.
We're talking about dressing for the job that you want in the world too. And I've got like some jobs coming up that I'm the wizard, right? And so here I'm in this wizard robe, and it's like dressing for the job that I want.
That's very funny. Well, I'm dressing for the job I want. Here's the Integratron on my shirt. Love that.
On your t-shirt, that's the official Integratron, the one in just outside Joshua Tree.
Yeah.
Or Yucca Valley.
Yeah, and we used to go when nobody was going, and it's that astrophysicist that they didn't use any nails or anything in the structure.
No metal. Yeah, no metal to hold together the wood. So it like has a resonance to it. It's amazing, this building in Landers. That's right. Officially, the Integratron. It's this sonic. It's a place where it's this round like room that if you're on one side of it and another person is like whispering on the other near the wall or something, it's like it just travels throughout the whole room. It's crazy. Sound healings in it are amazing.
Oh my gosh. So they do crystal ball healings in it. Oh my gosh. You're out.
It just passes right through you, these vibrations. It's like, it's intense.
And they have a portal at the top. It's just incredible. It is. Everybody should experience, it once for sure. And and I've been lucky enough to go like 3 times. So it's been fun. Yeah. And I think I've been there even more. I think I've been there a couple times when it was closed. And I was like, what? Yeah. Come on.
Oh, that's a drag. Making the trek there, making the pilgrimage.
That's a pilgrimage.
And it's like, sorry, it's on Monday, closed or whatever.
I went once with Jason and Sue, and we went, Jason's wife Sue, and we went out to Joshua Tree afterwards, and oh my gosh, it was so gorgeous. So gorgeous. I've never been in Joshua Tree, and Joshua Tree is, you just enter it. It's just like it sings. It's so beautiful.
It's like traveling back in time, and in some of these places, it feels like, a T-Rex could like, pop up and it'd be like, yeah, I can see that here.
So pretty though. It just was really, it was divine. Like all the parks, they just have their areas that are so divine.
Yeah.
And you just can't even share just how amazing they are at the time. You can't even take a picture that really shows it. Although we did get some good. Yeah.
Well, you can make like the heavenly God chorus sound, that ah, that's a part of sharing it, right? If you're telling someone, if you're like, it's like, oh, you should have gone because it was amazing. It was like, we just turned a corner and, oh,
I never expected it with Joshua Tree. I guess that's what it was. Expect it with Yosemite. I was awestruck at Yellowstone, up there in Wyoming, and some other places in the world, and you're just like, oh my God, this is just incredible.
Yeah, the Grand Canyon,
Oh, I love the Grand Canyon.
these places where you like, again, like you'll like turn a corner or something, like in Sedona when you're like driving through, and then all of a sudden the red rocks start appearing. You hear the sound.
Right. And so
Oh.
I was watching a movie last night, and they were saying something about, some on your bucket list, like being in the Grand Canyon, at the when sunrise comes on New Year's Day. And I was there New Year's Day this year, and it's like, oh yeah, that is so cool. I love it. Like, that's not on my bucket list anymore, but it was just so great, so great to be there. So amazing. And it was cold, like 30 degrees.
Like the desert can be.
Yeah, snow on the ground.
Especially New Year's Day, but beautiful.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So with
Again, it's that sound. Jason, can you sing for us?
oh,
No.
the voice of angels, right?
Yeah, talking about singing and everything, I do want to promote Jason's new pop song. Jason, it's so funny. We miss a window in our lives because Jason should have been singing his whole life.
I have been singing my whole
You
life.
haven't. It's been doing the home, and a million copies have been sold. But the just of one of them, to whereas all of them have sold lots and lots. But the thing is that that pop song is really beautiful, Jason. What is
Thanks.
time to let
Thanks.
go? What is it?
Time to let go. Yeah. And it has like, a lot of like kind of spiritual undertones in some of the messaging there, and it's not about like, like letting yourself go, it's not like where it's like, what, I'm not gonna like
Yeah, I mean
cook
chocolate
anymore. I'm just going to McDonald's for now on, and
oh
all that.
yeah,
It's not about letting
and then having
like
chocolate for dessert.
it's in that realm of how we give ourselves permission um to like either if we're being called to like a new direction in our life, if we're looking to just not be so wound up inside of ourselves, where we're so like, oh, it's got to be perfect, um it's it's more along those lines,
Yeah,
and making sure that we're not just holding on too tightly, to the past, that
right.
we can open up to a new version of ourselves as well. And part of what people get hung up about is they don't know the details. It's like, well, what is that going to look like exactly if I just move in a certain direction? And it's like, well, sometimes people want to pre-experience an experience. They're looking to figure out all the variables of it. And yes, if you're a rocket scientist, you're sending someone to the moon, figure out all those what could possibly go wrong, and all that, you know. But like if you're holding too tightly, in some of these areas where we're not trusting our deeper self, then we're just holding ourselves back. And so it's an encouragement, you know, about, again, letting go, and just in the tarot, that's like the fool card, right? And one is not a fool, one is not an idiot for it. It's just one doesn't know all the details, but there's that direction, and that's that north star on the compass to move towards, and to trust that. So all of that, my explanation was as long as the song, because the song is only 2.5 minutes long. I think my explanation of the song was like 3 minutes. You choose. Would you rather just listen to the song, and
Or
you
listen
can
to you
shake your
babble
booty a little bit, right? Or you can like just like, oh yes, the theory of that resonates.
Right, right. That's very funny, Jason.
But thanks for bringing it up, because it's on Spotify, it's on YouTube, all the streaming services, iTunes.
Yeah,
Time to Let Go by Jason D McKean.
right. And it
There
is
you
good. I mean, it's good. I mean, I swear, it's like, Jason should have been doing this,
go.
and he was playing music, but he wasn't singing, and he needed to be singing the whole time.
Yeah,
Then the alms, that's all I do. But, I mean, it's just funny. I mean, we just, I guess, don't have that much time in our lives to do everything we want to do. But
certainly.
because I chose, because you want to do what you do well. And I was pointing to landers and everything, but it's just the magic of landers. I like anything that has to do with celestial, interesting, our spiritual lives, and bringing it down to earth and creating it, magic in our present life, each and every step. And however we can do that, sometimes it's not being in our conscious mind, it's being in our shamanic selves to create a symbolism system that helps us overcome blocks and get on with our life, our real life, true love and real love and happiness, and what we really want to do with our lives. So yeah, and people are so mixed up about some of that, and it's not fun. That's never fun, to be in the mixed up place, because we all get there and we all have to get ourselves out of it for sure. And but yeah, but I am really glad that I chose, because I was really good at horses. I still have horses. But I went to equine science for years. I was wanting to be a horse veterinarian. And then I wanted to be, and then I had a lot of kids. I had a lot of step kids, and I had my kids. And so then I decided, oh, I should do some art just to run away from home, And so I went to art school for 3.5 years, and that was fun. And but then metaphysics, was always really great for me. I would just love to study it. It was just a hobby at first. I opened up the store, the Malibu Shaman, and bought so many books. And it was fun for me to buy books and all sorts of gifts. And oh gosh, at the time, it was the, uh, you know, gosh, it became the Sea Shepherd. But, I mean, all that. Some of those really good projects that used to be, in the beginnings of when I had the store. So some nonprofit corporation stuff that I loved getting behind, some foundations and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. So anyway, I just, that was such an easy road for me, and it's just continues to be the road for me, and I love it. Love my career and love always learning something new and always sharing something new. And we're always, in the process of teaching others and having fun talking about it.
Sometimes that creative spark that we keep inside,
Mhm,
right? It's like, we'll express it in different ways too.
mhm,
I feel that music to me it's something very, very personal. I've had a very long relationship with it. Like, I mean, since I was 4, taking piano lessons and then playing for my,
mhm,
classes and all, to playing in bands, composing, it's like I've pretty much run the gamut as far as like all the styles of music. But yeah, singing is a way of like connecting to one's heart center. And it's a very direct way of expressing not only like an idea, but just a feeling as well. And so, I'm feel fortunate in being able to carry a tune,
mhm.
so that
Yeah,
people can listen to it.
yeah, because I never developed a song voice, but definitely a voice as well. And
Well, you know, my dad was an opera singer, so
my dad was too.
oh, what a weird coincidence.
Yes, our dad was an opera singer. Yes. Very good voice. And then our brother is a voice, an amazing voice. And our
Yeah.
sister is a very funny voice. She's fun. She's so fun. Miss for Calling is a comic, and I'm sure she can
Yeah, totally.
stand up. Oh man, she's totally funny.
Well,
And
life is still early, you know. She could
okay,
do that, become a stand-up
yeah,
comedian.
I know it's about
Let's
everything.
let's bring that up to her next time,
Yeah,
you know.
I
It's like
think we should. We'll start filming her. Yeah, getting her YouTube channel. She's great. She is great. Funny.
but that
What kind
creative
of material?
spark, right?
Huh? Huh?
Because, you know, it's like taking something that, you know, I mean, one can just like create art if that's their goal, but to take that creative spark and also infuse that into metaphysics where there's a psychic science, or many of them, you know, in your case, where you're channeling that creativity into those um, modalities, and then, you know, sharing it with others. You're teaching, you're um, counseling, uh, the hypnotherapy. These are all there's a lot of creativity in all of these things. You know, I find that tarot is like the most important creative work that I've done, you know, so far, I guess, in this life. You know, it's a it's very connective, but it also there's a lot of, you know, creative energy that is created in it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you know, like at this time with Beltane, right? Because it is a time of activating that spark, you
Come
know,
on,
putting it
everybody.
towards, you know, you know, relationships. They're absolutely creative, right?
Oh yeah, they can be. If you want them to be, spark them, the spark of creativity. It can be a creative project, or it can be a creation of people. It can be a creation of children. Mm, yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you get together
Farmer,
with
miner.
other people, it's like, you know, it's like you create an energy
Yeah.
field, you know, and then it's like it calls upon you to be interactive in that. You know, it's like, you know, something as counselors, you know, we have to remind people that, you know, it's never just a one and done kind of thing. It's like a person sitting around going, I want a relationship. You know, it's like, okay, you know, here's a person, you know, that you can relate to. And it's like it's never just a static thing where it's like, yep, we're just in a relationship now. It's ongoing, it's moving, it's ever, like, you know,
It's
growing and
growing
stuff.
or it doesn't grow. Right.
Well, if it doesn't grow, then it becomes stagnant, and it like,
And
you
May
know.
1st, you can trade your partner.
Well, yeah, according to like the Beltane official rules, right? It's like,
Right.
okay, let's give this a year.
But hey, we can make them up as we go along.
It's like, all right, buddy,
Oh,
I gave you a year. You're out of here. Next.
right, right. Well, yeah. But learning to like ourselves just our alone time is good too. You know, I mean, and being creative on our own.
Yeah.
Really strong point of developing the self. Because I'm all for that.
Would you say that that's our first relationship?
Well, it is because, you know, I mean, we've come into this world to create ourselves for sure. And creating our own reality is very important. Very. You know, that's why when people say weird things, or they you know, start making it, creating a mess around them, they're messy Marvins, you know, I mean, it's like, okay, messy Marvin's going to have a mess to clean up, so be careful of what you say, what you're doing. You know, there's consequences to everything. Make sure that those consequences aren't, you know, you don't want to be so careful you're not risking anything in life, but at the same time, it's like, you know, if this is a bad thing or a good thing, period. You know. So
Just my creative brain has already created like a book series called Messy Marvin, and his messy world adventures, right? Of like, all these messes that Marvin can create.
it's think of all the mess that people
Do
get.
you know a Messy Marvin?
Well, I know that people get themselves into messy situations,
But
Yeah,
there's no Marvins that are just kind of there that you're like channeling.
yeah. Oh, well, and there's definitely people who die who have terrible messes they didn't clean up in this life.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
my God. Yeah. So, yeah, there's a lot of that. Sad. Yeah. Even in dying of being sick and everything, we have to be really careful about how messy we create that. We have to be on the wellness, and our well pathway. Mm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
those are choices. Those are choices of, how you create wellness. And you can't be too far down the road. You really got to stop it in time. Those are big things.
So getting back to Beltane, you had read something earlier, before we went live about
Yeah, go on.
some of the aspects, can you reacquaint
Of
us
what?
with that? Do you still have it in front of you?
Oh, about Beltaine? Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
wanted to say about the Messy Marvin thing, I am doing hypnothesia. I do hypnotherapy, and, Jason has a line of hypnotherapy uh, MP3s as well. I mean, I do, and he does, and I do it for sessions over
Yeah.
Zoom or in person at my treatment center, and Jason can do the same thing. Anyway, the bottom line with that is I do also do hypnothesia with an anesthesiologist. And so therefore you like blocking whatever, you just can't get slim, you just can't stop cigarettes, you just can't, just working on your wellness, working on your success blocks. We are doing hypnothesia where my anesthesiologist will put you in a light trance so that you can't block the suggestions that you give you. So anyway, just to let you know. So
When you say block them, it's like where the mind like wrestles with
yeah, your
like a
mind.
suggestion.
Yeah, let's sabotage that. I don't want to really be happy. Yeah. Or I don't really want to be skinny. I really like to eat 5 sundaes right now because I'm rebellious and something in my head says, oh, yeah, no, I can't take that suggestion. Whereas when you're in a more relaxed state of mind, you're not trying to pin the parent on me. You're going to be able to, go past that. I'm going past that, and you're going to have to be able to, go, oh, yeah, no, I hate that.
It's like a clear reprogramming.
Just clearing. Yeah, it's just helping you. It's just supporting you to make the right choices. You want the support. The support comes in again. Wherever those fails have been, you're allowing them not to get to you. So anyway, that's the whole. It's really, I'm always trying to think of what's the next brain mind therapy or technology that best help a lot of people. So anyway, so we were talking about, Beltane is a celebration of union of souls, the union of minds, and the union of bodies. The earth's mother calls her progeny to replenish the earth. Flowers decorate hair everywhere. Maypole ribbon dances with 2 circles interweaving around a decorated tree or pole clockwise dance circles. Bonfires are candles to spark the sacred fire of union and fertility. Yeah. So, and it's just from Earth coming back from its long winter nap. And, it's really, Oh, and then when you get done with the maypole, what you're supposed to say at the end is to love and be loved. And then the maypole stays there until Halloween.
Mhm. And that's how babies are made, kids.
That is, congratulations all. We're having a baby today in our family.
Right?
Yeah,
Lots of May weddings, right?
I don't know. Is there lots of May weddings?
Yeah, aren't there a lot of like May weddings?
I know there are June weddings because we're having one of those too. Yeah, so there's a June wedding coming.
Huh. I guess that year-long kind of like, just let's see and let's wait and see what happens kind of, it accumulates, right? And then it's like if it works, it's like, okay, we're getting married in May, getting married in June.
Hey, first, right? Beltaine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can give you back next year. If it doesn't work out. Yeah. So mark that on your calendars, everyone.
I mean, hopefully if it doesn't work out, it's like it kind of like they don't wait for a whole year. If someone isn't like working out like the first week, it's like, don't torture yourself.
I don't know. Yeah. But to let it try to make itself work out.
So I'm pulling a card
All right.
to look at it again, kind of this spirit, right, of the because there seems to be like some themes, like the warmth of spring, of summer that's just around the corner,
Yes.
like enjoying that, being out, planting, having those seeds planted, and it's like one is looking to see progress in that,
Mhm.
right? One is not just planning something, but you're in the process of activating it. So
Right.
so the Five of Cups
Five of Cups.
comes up.
Wow.
So I see the Five of Cups as how we manage expectations, right? Because
Amazing
y- y-
expectations. Okay.
it's like we can start the process, right, of
Right.
our our project, even in relationships, right?
Right.
And the cups, they represent the investment that we place into a person, into an opportunity,
Right.
an environment. It's like it's us, it's a part of us that lands in that cup. And sometimes with people, you know it's like not everything is like it doesn't land in a way that uh it is like matching our expectation of it, because it's like we want things to work out. And it's like some people, they may not like have, like, let's say, the same feelings that we have for them, right? And so are they a welcome receptacle in that, can they hold what it is that we are giving to them? And if they can't, if the timing is not right, if they're just not a willing holder of that which we give them, then in this version of the card, it's like one like fixates on that which they can't have, the things that are not working, right? And it creates frustration, it creates problems. And so it's a reminder that, hey, there's stuff that is working out,
Mhm.
but but how we can like fixate on those things that don't work out, it's like, look at that. And weirdly enough, I see this card as one of being able to let go, which seems to be a theme for me
Oh,
lately.
Jason. Yeah.
Where
Jason.
we let go of that which is not like
Right.
working for us, and we just we can say, you know what, maybe now is not the time, whatever, to kind of like, kind of, soothe our own being, right? So that we don't like just get desperate, that we don't like, undo ourselves by saying, no, I must have this. It's like, pull back, right? And again, look at those things that are taking off for you, so that you can focus on those, and allow for those to uh come into a place of success for you.
Right. Yeah, well, I agree. Like with that card is all about that. Don't fool yourself on who's your friend or who's really your real love partner sometimes.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because it's the feelings can be a little muddled. And so the thing is that when I have a whole line of MP3s that I should really, put out to you guys right now, is it's to, if you want a partner or a husband or a wife, they are there on my website, terrainsight.com. And the thing is that's the thing. Do not source on someone that you can't have or is not good for you. I mean, there's so many people like we want what we want. And that sometimes, you have asked for a really incredible life. You have to trust the universe to give it to you. If that's what you want, then you have to trust it. It's what is. Yeah. So yeah. So for the source part of me, that's, on all the moons and full moons, new moons, so forth, and praying, how I do. And it's like, don't put a name or a face to anything that you want. Just ask for it. The universe will give it to you. Your sentinels will give it to you. Your sentinels being archangels usually. And the thing is that you have to ask the universe, because you have to be clear on what you want. And that's with love. And since we're talking about Beltaine love and, just choosing somebody from the maypole. Yeah, but that's the maypole of life. We have a bigger maypole to choose from, to whereas we actually can connect our feelings, we can connect the person, and we don't. And if we already have a person, then we accept everything about them, because people aren't perfect. And
What?
what? Yeah. Well,
People aren't perfect?
anyway, but yeah, and they're not going to be, they're not going to hit every check on your list of what you want in a mate. I mean, it just doesn't really happen like that. And so I don't know why. I don't know why we're tested this way. We are.
Unless that person, they can like, have that mate that, checks off every box, and it's like, oh my God, you won the lottery in that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And there is some of that. There is some of that. We can say that, like, some relationships, they do check all the boxes, but, at the same time, people need to develop themselves. And, there has to be, some respect on people's time and energy. Can't all go to you, but you want it to, a lot of it. But the thing is that just source for the right thing for you, okay? And that's, I try to make it super general, so you're not sourcing for somebody you already know who's not interested or unavailable to you. Yeah, let's go for it. And because that's the hardest part of the sourcing, is not putting a name and face to things, to people. Because money's an energy, call it in. Success, it's your effort, do it. I mean, all of it is just like give and a take, give and a take. Where are you willing to put your energy? But another person, has to be somewhat karmic. You know, then you may not be on their same path, even though it might be super perfect. The fit may be really nice, but you just may not be on their path, or they may not be on your trajectory either. You know, that's the thing, is that what is your trajectory in your for your life and your purpose in life? Because a lot of purposes, you know, for different things, you know, your children, your parents, your friends, your work that you do, and sometimes you don't really even know what it is. It could be just, you know, that you've lived such hardships in different lifetimes. Maybe you're supposed to rest, you know, the last part of your life. But sometimes the universe doesn't get it when we want to be invisible, or we want to, you know, have a real simple life. Then they don't give you a lot of money to live that simple life. So you have to ask for the right things. Hey, and there's a big, beautiful doggy, my little grand dog, Mason. Anyway, who rhymes with Jason. Anyway, so cute. They named him after you, Jason.
So did you pull a card?
Yes, I did. Hey, Mason. No. Anyway, so we have the Knight of Cups. So,
More cups.
huh?
More cups.
More
Interesting.
cups. More cups. So cups are about feelings. So it's you know, coming maybe into access with your feelings. How about what would you say, Jason, with Knight of Cups, and then I'll go.
Um, you know, I see the knights as like cards of action, where one looks to activate themselves. You know, usually knights, they find themselves in challenging territory, right? One might say, oh, a battlefield, right? But you know, it's like, I think that, you know, just if we're looking to like activate like a creative spark, right? It's like, you know, we're looking to challenge ourselves so that there's growth potential in it, and that's usually, you know, where it's not just an easy breezy thing. You know, it's like one is looking to you know, make sure that there's a you know, larger purpose to it. So with the Knight of Cups being that knight who is like looking to connect in that heart space, I think that, you know, sometimes one looks to magnetize um, what it is that they want, you know, instead of like feeling like one has to do like a hard work, or um, you know, like adding an intensity to it. It's kind of like where one is knowing what it is that they want, but they're also looking to magnetize it to them as well, so that there isn't an air of desperation about what it is that they're looking to bring to them. That there's a uh, there is a there is an, I want to say ease, you know, of like a knowing. It's like, that is what I want, and that is what I'm going to get. But it's not like I'm just like making myself crazy, you know, trying to get it.
Mhm. Right.
But one is actively pursuing it, but pursuing it in a way that there is a knowing within, again, kind of this this heart center. And I think that the heart is where we activate courage. It's where we activate um, a an ability to not overthink a process, to not like um, it's just a different intelligence center within us, and it is a knowing, but we don't trip up over you know, getting there in our head.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and it is, it's about, you know, the cup is being offered. So how are you going to go forward in that search or in your already existing relationship. How are you going to, conduct yourself? And so sometimes, we're weak, we're not that strong in our thought process or our bodies to take us into, a long-term thinking or long-term thought process, the visualization of what exactly are we going towards. But the bottom line is to stay on track on what you want and what you need. And sometimes, it's really not about throwing things away. It's about developing ourselves into being loved, to love and to be loved.
Yeah,
So that's what I think of the Knight of Cups.
beautiful,
Mhm.
beautiful. As we wrap up too, time goes fast here, just talking with you, Tara, and to everyone else here. um it feels like, because that fire aspect of, because um summer's on the way, the warmth, as we let it in, as we take in that warmth,
Mhm.
it's definitely, that fire it's activating for us. And so, making sure that we're putting those steps forward in that process of creation, right? Creation is a process, where something is growing, continues to grow. And it's not a time of rest. It is one of being active in that pursuit. So find those ways to be active, and to pursue those areas that you're looking to inhabit, to build for yourself.
Yeah, building, building ourselves, building our creative self, the life we want to live. We build it. How we speak, how we conduct ourselves, how we think, how we move forward. All a process, but it really is best when we do it as best as we can.
So what's your website, Tara?
It is TaraInsight.com. Yeah, and you can get there, TaraSutphen.com too, if you can spell it. I mean,
That's hilarious.
Hi, because Sutphen's so hard to spell. Sutphen, but it's yeah, and that's on all my it's Tara_Insight on Instagram, and it's Tara Insight or Tara Sutphen on X, and it's also on LinkedIn. I'm pretty much out there on TikTok. I've come to TikTok very late, so you can follow me there if you want, because I have a lot of followers on everywhere else, but not so much on TikTok. And but they get a lot of hits, when you put out everything. So I don't know, it's fun. All of it's a grand ride, isn't it? This life. Oh, lots of love, everybody. And you're
Yeah.
follow Jason at Jason D McKean, and he is the Om Tarot Wizard on Instagram, right?
Nope. I am Jason Tarot Wizard
Oh, Jason Tarot Wizard.
On Instagram. Tomorrow I'm at an event that's benefiting the veterans, the Veterans Administration there in Los Angeles. And it's it's a it's an art auction there in Brentwood. And then I'll be in Bakersfield May 11th, which is the Mother's Day weekend, but it's the Saturday. And that'll be a mystic fair. I'll be one of the readers there. We'll be reading all day. So if you're in Bakersfield, there's no excuse for you not to show up. None, zero, zero excuses to show up and to get a reading.
Okay, and so at the Veterans Administration, so it's in Brentwood at the Veterans Administration building, the big building there?
Not the hospital, it's at the veterans home, but it's an art auction. It's like there's practitioners who are reading, and like I believe there's a Reiki master and other modalities that are being uh, showcased. But yeah, it's the auction is benefiting. The proceeds are going to the VA
Mhm.
on the veterans. So
So this is my little lap dog, Odin, my grand dog.
lap
Yeah,
dog.
he loves to be just across my leg. And
Ah,
that's all I can fit. He's 100 pounds. He's two.
he's huge.
They're both 100 pounds. Mason's one and he's two. That's so cute. They're the cutest puppies. Yeah, but they're very funny.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Tara.
Yeah,
Lots of love to you and to everyone. Thank you so much. Blessings.
yeah, blessings, lots of blessings. Love everyone. Yeah, thank you.
It's like now you have to reach the controls, right, over the dog. It's like,
Over the dog.
I can't move. It's 100 pounds on my lap.
Anyway, lots of love, everybody.